building, you cut down on your overhead. Now, when we bought that property, when we bought this property, someone else moved it back. After it cost probably $20,000 to remodel it. We got it for a deal, $25,000, but we spent $20,000 remodeling it. The Ramsadeen did most of what we helped, and he did most of the guys. It was a good job. Then when we bought that 4481, we did a nice job remodeling that too. But we moved downstairs in the basement, and other people lived upstairs where there's no mold and stuff.
Comfort.
Okay, so now, with them knowing all of that, for all the believers in Oakland to stand by and watch while Mukhtar tells those lies and never even mentions it. Wait a minute, it don't make sense if every dime the man spent is for somebody else. Now, we don't go around saying we did this for everybody, but that's been our method. Is the community before us. Other people don't have that idea. That's their problem. I do. And I've always been like that. So before I, by myself, to do stuff first, then by everybody else. After becoming a Muslim, I turned it around. I buy it for everybody else first, and I get it to the end of the line. It's still kind of like that. Well, what happened? What's the people trying to do? That's a COINTEL program. This is 1960. Disrupt and discord, creating doubts as to the wisdom of remaining in the independence movement, causing defections from the independence movement. 1, 2, and 3. That's exactly what Mukhtar did. He did it in person and exactly on cue, so I would know what he's doing. Because I teach this, that I would know exactly what he's doing. He's following the COINTEL program, word for word. Well, what happened? What happened? Just before then, this is the, from South Africa. Flight South African Airways 207, September 13th. Do not board customer. Do not board customer received from regulatory authority. Yep. Do not board customer rings, of course, the dear brother. But one thing that's good about it, they wrote this and gave it to me on the duty roster for everybody that worked in the airport that day. And I showed my behind a little bit so nobody would forget. So when I come against them, I got the duty roster, and I always have had it for that whole day. I was thinking they was doing it on purpose to have some kind of case. It didn't make a difference. The point I'm getting at is, if any of this is true, all of this is true. Well, how is this stuff from that Qatar Airways? How is this stuff from Iran, from Canada, from all over, from Sri Lanka, right? Why is it some move to try to undermine? When they first took us to Sri Lanka, we got rave reviews all the time we went. But now, I was wondering, why is Zafar people asking me, we're in Iran, I wanted you to go to Sri Lanka. I said, man, I don't have nothing to do. Well, I'll go. So I go, I make talks. There's one of the UN friends of ours who work for the UN, been knowing him for decades. everything I say, he's undermining what I say. I'm giving an optimistic speech, and he's saying that's insane to be that optimistic. And I tell the people, I'm an African American. You don't have an optimistic attitude in America, you're not going to do nothing. And people that talk pessimistic talk ain't going nowhere, and they got some fat job. So they're trying to undermine. I tell Muhammad Allah, I says, you know what's happening with homeboy? And every time I tell him somebody that's messing up, he makes an excuse for them.
Defends them.
Defends them. Constantly. So I said, oh, I got that. So no problem. South Africa, our friends, we're all on the team. Dr. Kaleem Siddiqui, the chief himself, says Imam Musa is the, he didn't believe it, I forgot he said that, I went there. He's the essence of some of all that's good. I said, good God Almighty. Well, if that was true, why did the next day everybody start acting stupid from then on? Okay. What about Iran? Iran itself, I'm talking about the foreign ministry, not the leadership and not the revolutionaries. What about even Muslim Congress? I do this project, Imam Hussein in America. I'm telling them, I'm the Imam Hussein of America. Boy, I'm catching the same thing in America he caught. They didn't respond. Why didn't they respond? Khadijah said the other day with her poor self that nobody likes you, and on and on. But you know what? If any of this is true, all of this is true. And that would mean Allah directly had to intervene on all of this because the whole crew in Oakland turns against us. The whole crew at Adams and New York, right? Everybody, Atlanta, anybody, they all turn against us. And in DC, everybody, for some reason, turns against us here at Masjid al-Islam. And care, after 4 demonstrations, they don't care.
Never did.
But see, remember, it's obvious. Remember, Gandhi said something, you have to make injustice visible. When we talked about grand jury, we talked about indicting the government, misdemeanors, 5 great crimes and misdemeanors, high crimes and misdemeanors. When we talked about putting together certain literature, book of coincidence, all of those have happened. Well, what do they mean?
Book of circumstances.
Book of circumstances. That means when we take the events, when we take the circumstances, when we take what we call grand jury approach, that means we took our case to the public and have been doing it for now a decade and more. But after Oakland went ballistic in 2013, you can look at, see, here's a big trap. Strategic depth means this. The coons are trapped and the government is trapped. The government is exposed I don't want to go through all of this. They're exposed on everything. They didn't do this, they did that, da. I got arrest reports where I challenged them and they didn't follow through correctly. We have stacks of paper that through their system prove that they're belligerent, nimble-minded oppressors. And we prove what strategic depth and strategic brilliance is. It's not bragging. Strategic depth is what we was talking about the other day, that you're below, it's like subliminal. You know, subliminal suggestion, that they have a movie camera going. They did the test. The movie camera has 24 frames. In every few frames, they have a box of hot buttered popcorn. And they did the experiment with that. Now, your eye don't see it, but your mind pick it up. That's why they call it subliminal suggestion. It's below the line of consciousness invisibility, but you pick it up. And in most cases, you act off of it. The first study was with that popcorn. And they happened to have popcorn outside at the university when they studied. Everybody went and got popcorn, except one guy.
And they used to do it at the drive-in. You know, the drive-in,
Mm-hmm.
they would show you the popcorn, the hot dog, and the drink. Wouldn't say a word. They just show it to you.
Yes, right.
Next thing you know, you getting popcorn and soda and drink.
Automatically. So subliminal suggestion for us. Strategic depth. I mean, we telling them what we're gonna do, but we're gonna hit you with two combinations. Number one, we're gonna hit you where you ain't even picking it up. That you being beat to death in public. Now remember Muhammad Ali and Jack Johnson. What did both of them do? Psychological warfare.
Before the fight.
Before and during the fight. Oh, Mr. Jeff, I'm gonna hit you in the tummy. Bam! Can you imagine how miserable it was? That's the way we've done the government. How to pump the FBI and all that stuff. We told them that's what we was gonna do. People confuse the government's ability to harass you as winning. They're not winning, they're just doing what they do. Strategic depth means drawing them in deep. That we drew them in so deep, all of them, everybody. The little guy from Iran that came here, playing his game, we drew him in deep. Drew him in deep. The groups and organizations in California drew him in deep. Just like Abdul-Malik was always going to Irvine, one of the brothers here, his daughters went out to Irvine, associated with Crescent, you know, the Quranic guy, not the writer, but his daughter zooped right out there. That's the headquarters. What is Abdul-Malik? Why is he going to Irvine University all the time? Why? All you got to do is look at the literature today. The FBI have it locked down tight. And the phony anti-Zionist programs that Abdul-Malik and them have on the university there gives fuel to the Zionists to attack all the students all over America based on what they give them. Yes, and they're doing it all the time. The other thing, the Imam in Irvine from South Africa, a friend of mine, he smelled what was going on. He packed up and went back home. I said, man, this is a strange guy. I said, I know what you mean. Yeah, I didn't tell him exactly what was happening. Our place in LA, UCLA, one Sunni, one Shia. They both on the same team. Because in those years, I was teaching on the people that can come to start trouble. They can't start you with trouble, they can't get trouble around you, so they start a fight with each other. And that causes fitna. Because somebody says he's right, somebody says he's right. You see what I mean? That's what the LA was doing. That's what the whole LA, all of them, so-called As-Sabiqun, was full of drip, drab, and dirt. And they didn't care nothing about Imam Musa. But we're fighting a war. What are we going to do? You have to have plan, you have to have a strategy. That's where strategic depth comes in. It has to be above and beyond all of these people here. Now you got to remember, the only thing these people know, the government agents know, is what the government taught them. And the government tell them Clarence Reeves is this. And they believe it, just like any police look at your record. Whatever the other one said, he goes by that. He don't say, I don't know if that's right. He don't say that. If they hint that this man needs to be shot in that record, they're going to try to figure out if you stay in their city too long to shoot you. Because they follow their orders. When the police stop you, whatever come up on the screen, that's what it is. They don't question nothing. The police don't question nothing but what boss man said. Therefore, the tattletales and the collaborators don't either. They go by what boss man tell them to do. Therefore, all you have to do is feed people what you want them fed. Now, don't worry about what they feed you. They've been feeding you since